In 1914, during World War I, Allied troops in Belgium were making plans to strike at the Yser Bridge. Captain Rennes intended to wait for the enemy's move, but Hercule Poirot proposed a different strategy, attacking within 7 minutes under the cover of gas to keep the enemies blind. The soldiers followed Poirot's plan and successfully attacked the Central Powers. However, as Rennes was praising Poirot's strategy, he accidentally triggered a bomb that destroyed the bridge, killing Rennes and injuring several soldiers, including Poirot. Poirot awoke in a hospital where his nurse and lover, Catherine, was by his side. He told her she shouldn't have come, but she affirmed her love for him. Poirot revealed his scars from the explosion, and Catherine suggested he grow a mustache. Flash forward to 1937 in London, Poirot visits a nightclub where jazz singer Salome Otterborn is performing. Her niece, Rosalie, deals with the arrogant Maître D and secures their payment. On the dance floor, a young couple, Simon Doyle and Jacqueline Jackie de Belfort, are passionately dancing and kissing while Salome sings. The club later receives a visit from Jackie's wealthy heiress friend, Lynette Ridgway. She reconnects with Jackie, asking if she can employ Simon before their wedding. Jackie introduces Simon and Lynette, who then share a dance filled with even more intensity than the one Simon shared with Jackie, who watches with unease. 6 weeks later, Poirot is in Egypt. Sitting by the Sphinx, he enjoys tea and cake when he spots a man flying a kite on the pyramid. He starts to reprimand the man but realizes it's his old friend Bouc. Delighted, Bouc takes Poirot to meet his mother, Euphemia, who is more interested in her painting of the pyramid than in meeting Poirot. Bouc then takes Poirot to the First Cataract Hotel for a party celebrating the newlyweds, Simon and Lynette. Bouc explains to Poirot that Marie has communist leanings and resents Lynette's wealth, while Mrs. Bowers and Louise are both envious of her fortune. Andrew, on the other hand, is seen as untrustworthy by everyone except Lynette. The mood of the celebration is spoiled when Jackie unexpectedly shows up, a habit she developed after Simon left her for Lynette. Later, Lynette and Simon ask Poirot to look into Jackie because her relentless following has made Lynette anxious and disturbed. Poirot tracks down Jackie and talks to her, discovering that Lynette has always overshadowed her. Jackie once had the lead role in a school play of Antony and Cleopatra, but their teacher replaced her with Lynette. Jackie is convinced Simon's heart remains with her and reveals she is carrying a .22 caliber gun. Poirot shares this with Lynette and Simon, suggesting they go back home to start anew, but Simon has other plans. The next day, Simon invites everyone on his yacht, the SS Carnac, to keep the celebration going. Lynette later confides in Poirot, expressing distrust towards all the guests. Poirot observes Andrew approaching Lynette to get her signature on a property deal, which clearly annoys Mrs. Bowers. Rosalie speaks up, causing Andrew to step back. Later that evening, as everyone is celebrating, Poirot and Bouc have a conversation. Bouc reveals he's in a romantic relationship with Rosalie and is deeply in love, though he hopes for his mother's approval. He also notices Poirot's interest in Salome and advises him to seek love. The party later visits Abu Simbel. Bouc attempts to inform Euphemia about his relationship with Rosalie, but she disapproves. Nonetheless, Bouc feels relieved not having to hide their romance anymore. Poirot chats with Salome, who remarks that he is guarded. Soon after, Simon and Lynette narrowly escape being crushed by a falling boulder. Shortly after, a sandstorm forces everyone to seek shelter. Once it passes, they return to the boat to discover that Jackie has managed to board. Simon points out they can't do anything as she has a valid ticket. During dinner, Simon and Lynette announce their plans to leave the next morning. Poirot drinks some champagne and starts to feel sick. He steps outside and finds Jackie, and the two of them discuss their past romantic failures. Poirot tells her that Catherine died in an explosion, an event that deeply affected him and shaped who he is now. When Poirot goes to bed, Jackie confronts Simon and Lynette, who mock her about their multiple intimate moments that day. After Lynette retires for the night, Simon and Jackie argue, ending with Jackie pulling out a gun and shooting Simon in the leg. Horrified by her actions, Jackie throws the gun away. Mrs. Bowers calms Jackie down as she becomes hysterical, while Windlesham provides medical aid to Simon's leg. The next morning, Louise enters the couple's room and screams in terror. Lynette has been killed, a bullet wound in her head, suggesting she was murdered in her sleep. Additionally, her valuable necklace is missing. Though Jackie is the main suspect, Mrs. Bowers asserts that she stayed in bed all night. Simon, upon seeing his wife's body, cries out in pain. After removing Lynette's body, Poirot, with help from Simon and Bouc, begins questioning the other guests. They start with Louise, who shares that she was previously engaged and planned to leave her job with Lynette after getting married. However, Lynette meddled by encouraging Louise's fiancé to break off the engagement, testing his loyalty by offering to pay his debts. Next, Poirot and Bouc interview Windlesham, who confesses that he still had feelings for Lynette and even thought about ending his life upon learning of her engagement. Originally known as Lord Windlesham, he wanted to focus on a career helping others. The men then speak with Andrew, who discloses that the contracts he planned to formalize would have led to significant financial losses for Lynette and her estate. It's also revealed that Andrew was carrying a .45 caliber gun. Book proceeds to question Marie and Mrs. Bowers. It turns out that Mrs. Bowers came from a rich family, but during the Great Depression, Lynette's family displaced them from their property. Poirot deduces that Marie and Mrs. Bowers are in a romantic relationship. Later, Jackie's gun is retrieved from the water, wrapped in Marie's missing scarf, and shows a bullet hole. Notably, the gun has 2 missing bullets, aside from the one used to shoot Simon. Poirot then talks to Salome, who reveals that she previously had issues with Lynette due to Lynette's prejudices stemming from her father's influence. Despite this, Rosalie and Lynette eventually became friends. Salome also carries a gun that looks like Jackie's. Euphemia interrupts to announce she found Lynette's necklace in her room. After searching Euphemia's room, Poirot discloses that he was hired by Euphemia to investigate if Rosalie was suitable for Bouc. Poirot concludes Rosalie is a good match for Bouc, but Rosalie reacts angrily to this revelation and criticizes Poirot. Poirot follows her, and they soon come across Louise's body in the water wheel, her throat slashed with a scalpel missing from Windlesham's knife collection. Money is found on her as well. Poirot observes blood splatter on the wall, partly obscured by what could be a witness to Louise's murder. The guests lock themselves in their rooms for safety. Poirot interviews Simon one more time, then turns to question Bouc, who is shocked by the accusation from his friend. Poirot deduces that Bouc discovered Lynette's body and stole her necklace, hiding it in Euphemia's room to frame her, hoping to free himself and Rosalie from suspicion. Bouc had also seen Louise attempting to blackmail the murderer before she was killed, leading Bouc to throw his bloodstained coat into the river. Before Bouc can reveal who he saw, he is fatally shot in the throat. Poirot chases the shooter but cannot catch them. Poirot then ensures the guests are secured in the bar with the crew's help, preparing to expose the culprit. Poirot also knows Andrew was the one who pushed the boulder that nearly hit Simon and Lynette, admitting it was done out of desperation, but he insists he didn't kill anyone. It turns out Simon, with Jackie's assistance, was the one who killed Lynette. Jackie was the brains behind the entire plot. They devised a plan for Simon to marry Lynette and inherit her wealth after her demise. Jackie initially shot Simon with a blank to make it look convincing, then Simon shot Lynette for real and injured himself afterward, using Marie's scarf to muffle the gunshot sound. Simon even took some red paint from Euphemia to make his self-inflicted wound look genuine. Simon disposed of the gun, but since Louise had witnessed the crime, Jackie killed her, and later Bouc too, following Simon's signal just as Bouc was about to expose Jackie's involvement. When the lovers realize they're exposed, they point a gun at the guests. With no other choices left, Jackie gives Simon a final kiss before shooting him in the back, causing the bullet to also hit her. They die together in each other's arms. The guests disembark from the boat. Windlesham mentions he'll continue his medical work in Africa. Euphemia and Rosalie, despite their dislike for Poirot, express their gratitude for him finding Bouc's murderer. Salome confesses to Poirot that she had feelings for him. 6 months later in London, Salome is performing at the same nightclub as before. Poirot attends, now without his mustache, revealing his scars, and watches her perform. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks and see you again soon. Take care.